Proxy chains, for those who are unaware, it's an application on Linux that you can actually chain together any number of proxies. So, middle parties that you can siphon your connection through. All of the data back and forth can go through these extra proxies, and you can actually add them as many in a line as you want. So, really, it depends on the way you're using it. Some proxies, for instance, are encrypted, other ones are not. Then, some may be trustworthy or some may be safe, other ones may be heavily watched and manipulated. So, it's pretty random when you deal with proxy chains because you don't really know, you can't audit the proxy servers. But if you're in a long enough chain, you're probably pretty safe. Now, Tor, on the other hand, you do have to consider that that is a network that some parties are interested in attacking. So, in a way, there are publicly listed nodes in the Tor network outside of the bridges. Now, the bridges are not publicly listed, but you have to think about from the context of an adversary of the network. And are they going to be more likely to manipulate the Tor network to de-anonymize versus the proxy chains? Well, it would all depend on how you're using it as well, because a proxy chain setup that is done correctly, that is done using several different parties from different locations that are not working in concert, some proxies may be in the same hidden network. There's no telling who they're working with. There could be some that are monitored that work together to try and de-anonymize users who combine proxies. We just don't know. So there's a lot of what ifs involved in that. And, using Tor is the best way to at least securely do this type of connection because Tor at least has everything built in. There's less chance of leakage if you've got Tor set up correctly. Whereas a proxy, if you're not proxying the DNS properly, well, then your DNS request may be leaking, which would give up the address of whatever server it is that is your destination. So a DNS request is going to be like the phone book of the internet. It's something that translates the domain name into an IP address. Now, on the other hand, if it's using a .onion address, that's a hidden service within the Tor network. Either way, you don't want those kinds of domains to leak over DNS. So if you're using proxy chains, you have to be careful to set it up correctly. But in short, it's really hard to say. You can't do a direct comparison because so many different proxy chain setups will be entirely different setup. And in some cases, they may not realize that certain proxies may be working together. So it's really a little more random with proxy chains, and that can be a good thing, but it could also be a problem.